Glasgow City Council regular meeting tonight, and we're going to begin our meeting tonight by standing and having the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. We begin our meetings with an invocation. So if you will join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to live in such a wonderful community, a community that is full of people who care about the people who live here, care enough to be involved in leadership, to be involved in making decisions that are better for all of our community. We also want to thank you for the leadership that is shown here tonight. We ask as we move forward in the endeavors of conducting business for the city of Glasgow that you instill in us a sense of cooperation, a sense of accomplishment, and a sense that whatever we do here tonight and throughout every session of this council, that we do so in a manner that's pleasing in your sight. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, let's move forward. And the first thing we're going to do tonight is have the roll call. Mona Simmons will do that.
Bedell.
Present.
Gons.
Yes, ma'am.
Kirkpatrick.
Yes, ma'am.
Lowry.
Yes.
Marion.
Yes, ma'am.
Neal. Yes. Norris.
Here.
Trigg. Witcher.
All right. Now we want to move forward. Something new that we're going to do is as a procedure. Each council meetings we're going to begin by approving the agenda as it was presented. Council members tonight and members of the press and others get the agenda usually about Thursday evening. They've had time to look over it, and before we begin the meeting, each meeting time, we're going to consider a motion to approve the budget that we're about to consider. So I'll entertain a motion from a member of the council to approve tonight's budget. Agenda. What did I say? Budget. No budget. Whoa, that's fast forward a little bit. Okay. Look at Stephanie back there.
Mayor, I'll make a motion.
Okay. Motion by Ms. Kirkpatrick. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Neal. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. The budget is approved. The agenda. Where is the word budget coming from up here? I'm going to move forward right now by talking about something that is a little more near and dear to my heart. We have a proclamation that we want to take care of tonight. I want to give you just a bit of a background. Right after I announced that I was going to run for mayor, I got a whole lot of really nice, shall we say, text messages, people reaching out saying, we're glad you're going to do this, a whole lot of support. One person that supported me was a gentleman that so many of us know and love and have been influenced by for so many years, a fellow by the name of Mr. Jim Nelson. Now, Jim was a principal at Glasgow High School, science teacher for many years at Glasgow High School. He wore many hats in this community, some that I just now learned about as far as being involved in the Fort Williams Committee, being involved with the Rotary Scout Camp, also being involved in other activities of helping youngsters be involved in the process of learning the outdoors. He loved the outdoors. Well, he walked into the radio station one afternoon and said, I want you to have this for when you become mayor. He made a gavel for me out of dogwood that was on his farm. He made it. He was so encouraging. He brought it to me as a gift, but as fate would have it, he did not live to see me sworn in for the position for which he encouraged me to run for. So with that in mind, I want to ask Theresa to come forward and maybe the grandsons to come forward as City Attorney Rich Alexander reads a proclamation in honor of Mr. Jim Nelson.
That whereas James Jimmy Mark Nelson was born on March 15, 1947 in Glasgow, Kentucky, whereas Jimmy Nelson was the son of the late James Orrin and Jeanette Doherty Nelson, and is survived by his wife Theresa Nelson, to whom he was married 53 years, his 3 children, Julie Nelson Craddock, Mark Nelson and his wife Megan, and Amanda Nelson Regal, his 6 grandchildren, Pierce and Nelson Craddock, Lizzie and Sylvia Nelson, and Porter and Anna Burns Regal, his brother Bill Nelson and his wife Dawn, and his nephews and niece Clay, Nick, and Katie Nelson. Whereas Jimmy Nelson was a graduate of Glasgow High School and Western Kentucky University, whereas Jimmy Nelson was very passionate about education and spent his entire career teaching and encouraging the youth of our community in the Glasgow Independent School District, where for a number of years he taught high school biology and later transitioned to assistant principal and then principal at the high school. Whereas Jimmy Nelson also had an interest in the outdoors, living and working on his beloved farm in Barron County. Whereas Jimmy Nelson served in the Kentucky Army National Guard for 12 years and was a lifelong member of the First Presbyterian Church. Whereas Jimmy Nelson was also active in the community's civic affairs, serving on the Barron County Ethics Committee, the board of the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center, and the City of Glasgow-Fort Williams Restoration Commission, taking a very active role in repairing cultural center exhibits, giving tours, and sprucing up the historic site on which the fort is located. And he also spent many hours working to maintain the Rotary Club Scout Camp. Whereas Jimmy Nelson will be fondly remembered as a dedicated and caring educator, respected community leader, and loyal and honorable man. And whereas the passing of Jimmy Nelson on June 13, 2022 has left a void that cannot be filled, and he is mourned by the citizens of this municipality and county, now therefore be it hereby proclaimed and resolved by the City of Glasgow as follows. The City of Glasgow does hereby express its deep and abiding respect and honor for Jimmy Nelson, and further expresses its sense of grief and loss upon his passing, and extends to his family and many friends its most sincere sympathy. The City Clerk of the City of Glasgow is hereby directed to transmit a commemorative copy of this proclamation to Jimmy Nelson's wife, Theresa Nelson, as a memento of the city's appreciation and respect for a life well lived, adopted this 9th day of January, 2023.
Certainly feel comfortable to go ahead and leave. We got some business to take care of right here, and so we're going to move forward with our next item of business on the agenda, which is to approve the minutes of a special call meeting. Now, in your all's package that you received earlier, there was some minutes from a meeting that was held back on December the 14th. You've had a chance to look over that, but as a matter of record, we need to consider approving those minutes from that special call meeting. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion by Bonnell.
Motion by Mr. Bonnell. Is there a second?
Second, Lowry.
Second by Ms. Lowry. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we've got some business to take care of here in the way of new business. First things first, we have to get a city clerk appointed. Rich?
On order of the mayor, Mona Simmons is hereby appointed to the City of Glasgow non-elected city officer position of city clerk. This municipal order is adopted pursuant to KRS 83A 060(13), in that it was approved by the Glasgow City Council on January 9, 2023.
All right, so you've heard the motion to approve Mona Simmons as the clerk. Is there a motion to approve this?
Motion, Norris.
Is there a second?
Second, Kirkpatrick.
All right, any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Now, Rich will give the oath of office so that we can have a city clerk.
Mona, if you raise your right hand. At the end of this, please state whether you affirm or swear. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky so long as I continue a citizen thereof, and that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability the office of city clerk according to law. And I do further solemnly swear or affirm that since the adoption of the present Constitution, I, being a citizen of this state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state nor out of it, nor have I sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have I acted as second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offended. So help me God. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Likewise, we need to swear in our city attorney, the Honorable Rich Alexander. So, Mona, if you want to read this order appointing Rich as the city attorney, then we'll have you swear him in, okay?
City of Glasgow Municipal Order Number 2023. On order of the mayor, the Honorable Rich Alexander is hereby appointed to the City of Glasgow non-elected city officer position of city attorney. The municipal order is adopted pursuant to KRS 83A.060(13), in that it was approved by Glasgow City Council on January 9, 2023.
All right. That is the order. Is there a motion to approve that order?
Motion.
Okay. Second?
Lowry.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we will now swear in our city attorney, Rich Alexander.
I will support the Constitution of this Commonwealth and the Constitution of the United States, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky, so long as I continue a citizen thereof, and that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability the office of city attorney for the city of Glasgow, according to law. And I do further solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution, I, being a citizen of this United States, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state nor out of it, nor have I sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have I acted as second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offended. So help me God.
Thank you, Mona, and congratulations, Mr. Rich, and welcome to the chair at the important position of city attorney. And we all look forward to working with you in the many matters to come before the city council. Up next, as the law requires, we have to swear in non-elected city officials. And we have several ordinances that we need to pass before the oath to those officials can be administered. So, Rich?
Mayor, we'll start with the Finance Officer. On order of the Mayor, Maddie Griffin is hereby appointed to the City of Glasgow non-elected City Officer position of Finance Officer. This municipal order is adopted pursuant to KRS 83A.060(13), and then it was adopted by the Glasgow City Council January 9, 2023.
All right, we have a motion, or rather we have an order to appoint Maddie Griffin as the finance officer. Is there a motion to consider that?
Motion by Benel.
Okay, second? Second by James Neal. Any discussion? All right, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, Mayor, is the City Treasurer. On order of the Mayor, Stephanie Garrett is hereby appointed to the City of Glasgow non-elected City Officer position of City Treasurer. This municipal order is adopted pursuant to KRS 83A.060(13), and then it was approved by the Glasgow City Council on January 9, 2023.
All right, we have an order that's presented. Is there a motion to approve the order?
Motion Norris.
Okay, we've got the motion by Councilman Norris and a second by Councilman Witcher. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
The next position, Mayor, is License Inspector. On order of the Mayor, Brandon Kearney is hereby appointed to the City of Glasgow non-elected City Officer position of License Inspector. This order is adopted pursuant to KRS 83A.060, paragraph 13, and that it was approved by the Glasgow City Council on January 9, 2023.
The order has been read appointing Brandon Kearney as License Inspector. Is there a motion that we approve this order?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Marion. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Neal. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries.
The next position is the Superintendent of Public Works. On order of the Mayor, Roger Simmons is hereby appointed to the City of Glasgow non-elected City Officer position of Superintendent of Public Works. This order is adopted pursuant to KRS 83A.60(13), and that it was approved by the Glasgow City Council January 9, 2023.
You've heard the order. Is there a motion to approve this order?
Motion by Benel.
Okay, is there a second? Second by Councilman Witcher. Any discussion on the order? And I'll ask for those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? And the motion carries, or rather the order carries.
The next position is City Engineer. On order of the Mayor, Lincoln Bell is hereby appointed to the City of Glasgow non-elected City Officer position of City Engineer. This municipal order is adopted pursuant to KRS 83A sub 6013, in that it was approved by the Glasgow City Council January 9, 2023.
You've heard the order read. Is there a motion to approve the order? Motion by Councilman Neal. Second? Second by Councilman Witcher. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The order carries.
The next position is that of Fire Chief. On order of the Mayor, William Rock is hereby appointed to the City of Glasgow non-elected City Officer position of Fire Chief. This municipal order is adopted pursuant to KRS 83A.60, paragraph 13, and that it was approved by the Glasgow City Council January 9, 2023.
You've heard the order that was presented. Is there a motion to approve the order?
Motion Lowry.
Okay, motion by Councilman Lowry and second by Councilman Kirkpatrick. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now, I want to ask all of these who were just presented on the preceding orders to please stand, because the City Attorney, Rich Alexander, will issue the oath of office. This is the oath of being a non-elected city official. So he's going to issue that right now.
If you all will each raise your right hand, please. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth so long as I continue a citizen thereof, and that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability the office of Maddie Griffin, Finance Officer, Stephanie Garrett, City Treasurer, Brandon Kearney, License Inspector, Roger Simmons, Superintendent of Public Works, Lincoln Bell, City Engineer, and William Rock, Fire Chief, according to law, and I do further solemnly swear or affirm that since the adoption of the present Constitution, I, being a citizen of this state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within the state nor out of it, nor have I sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have I acted as second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help me God. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, and thank you for your service. We've got one more non-elected official to swear in. It's a little bit different oath, and so City Attorney Alexander is going to read this order for us to consider.
On order of the Mayor, Jennifer Arbogast is hereby appointed to the City of Glasgow non-elected city officer position of Police Chief. This municipal order is adopted pursuant to KRS 83A 06013 in that it was approved by the Glasgow City Council on January 9, 2023.
All right, you've heard the order. We need to have a motion to approve it.
Motion by Benel.
Okay.
Second, Norris.
Second by Norris. All right, so there's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the matter? Well, let's call the question. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Chief Arbogast is officially approved as the Glasgow City Police Chief. It's a different oath that she will take. So, Chief, if you will stand, and Rich will read the oath to you.
All right, Chief. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky, so long as I continue a citizen thereof, and that I will faithfully execute, to the best of my ability, the office of Police Chief according to law. And I do further solemnly swear or affirm that since the adoption of the present Constitution, I, being a citizen of this state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state nor out of it, nor have I sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have I acted as second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help me God. I further solemnly swear that I am able to read and write the English language intelligibly, that I am sober, moral, and sagacious, and that I am at least 21 years of age, that I have never been convicted of a felony, that as Police Chief for the City of Glasgow, I will not interfere in any election, and that I will endeavor to the best of my ability to detect and prosecute all gamblers and others violating the law against gaming. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Let's give all of our sworn non-elected officers a round of applause. Now we are finished swearing, but we've got some municipal orders to move forward with regarding some committee appointments, and so I'm going to ask City Attorney Alexander to begin this process. Listen carefully.
On order of the Mayor, Councilmember James Neal is hereby appointed to the Annexation Committee. This appointment shall run concurrent with Mr. Neal's 2023-2024 term of office. This municipal order is adopted, again pursuant to KRS 83A 60, subparagraph 13, approved by the Glasgow City Council January 9, 2023.
And just as a point of reference, these orders have to be considered individually. So I'm going to first of all ask for a motion to appoint Councilman Neal to this annexation committee.
Motion.
Okay, motion by Councilman Kirkpatrick and a second by Councilman Bunnell. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Councilman Neal is approved on the annexation committee.
On order of the Mayor, Councilmember Freddie Norris is hereby appointed to the Annexation Committee. This appointment shall run concurrent with Mr. Norris's 2023-2024 term in office. This order is adopted pursuant to statute that we've referenced before, in that it was approved by the Council on January 9, 2023.
Order has been read appointing Councilman Norris to the Annexation Committee. Is there a motion that we approve this? Lowry, is there a second? Second by Councilman Witcher. Any discussion? All right, all in favor of that?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, congratulations to Councilman Norris. Let's move to the next order Rich?
On order of the mayor, Councilmember Terry Bennell is hereby appointed to the Barron County Economic Authority Board of Directors. This appointment shall run concurrent with Mr. Bennell's 2023-2024 term in office. It's adopted pursuant to law in that it was approved by the council on January 9, 2023.
I'll entertain a motion to approve this order as presented.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Marion, is there a second? Second by Councilman Neal. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
The next item, Mayor, is the municipal order. Councilmember Patrick Gaunce is hereby appointed to the Community Relief Board. This appointment shall run concurrent with Mr. Gaunce's 2023-2024 term in office. This municipal order is adopted pursuant to law, approved by the Glasgow City Council on January 9, 2023.
I'll entertain a motion to approve Councilman Gaunce as a member of the Community Relief Board. Motion by Councilman Neal. Is there a second?
Second, Norris.
Second by Councilman Norris. Any discussion of this appointment? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is on order of the mayor. Councilmember Joe Trigg is hereby appointed to the Community Relief Board. This appointment shall run concurrent with Mr. Trigg's 2023-2024 term in office, adopted pursuant to law in that it was approved by the council on January 9, 2023.
The order has been presented. Does someone want to make a motion that we approve that order?
Motion by Bennell.
Okay, is there a second? Second by Kirkpatrick. I think I heard Kirkpatrick first. So with a motion and a second, is there any discussion? All right, the motion is to be voted on. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is municipal order. On order of the mayor, Councilmember Chastity Lowry is hereby appointed to the Glasgow Electric Plant Board of Directors. This appointment shall run concurrent with Ms. Lowry's 2023-24 term in office. It's adopted pursuant to law and approved by the council on January 9, 2023.
All right, the order has been read. I'll entertain a motion to approve this order appointing Ms. Lowry to the Glasgow EPB Board.
Motion, Norris.
Okay, there's a motion by Councilman Norris. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Gaunce. Is there any discussion of this issue? If not, then we'll vote. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Next item is another municipal order. On order of the mayor, council members Terry Bennell, Chastity Lowry, Freddie Norris, and Marlon Witcher are hereby appointed to the City Council Finance Committee. This appointment shall run concurrent with their respective 2023-2024 terms in office, adopted pursuant to law by the Glasgow City Council January 9, 2023.
You've heard the order. Is there a motion to approve this order? Motion by Councilman Kirkpatrick. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Neal. Any discussion of this order? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is another municipal order. On order of the mayor, Councilmember Terry Bennell is hereby appointed to the GEDL, which is our Glasgow Economic Development Loan Fund Board of Directors. This appointment runs concurrent with Mr. Bennell's 2023-2024 term in office. The municipal order is adopted pursuant to law and approved by the City Council on January 9, 2023.
The order has been read. I'll entertain a motion for approval of such order. Okay, Mr. Witcher has made a motion. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Lowry. Any discussion of this order? All in favor indicate by saying aye. And opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Next item, Mayor, is a municipal order regarding the animal shelter. On order of the mayor, Councilmember James Neal is hereby appointed to the Glasgow Barron County Animal Shelter Board of Directors. This appointment runs concurrent with Mr. Neal's 2023-2024 term in office. This order is adopted pursuant to law and approved by the council on January 9, 2023.
Is there a motion to approve this order?
Motion by Bennell.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion of this appointment? Then all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is municipal order. Councilmember Marna Kirkpatrick is hereby appointed to the Glasgow Barron County Salvation Army Service Unit Committee. This appointment shall run concurrent with Ms. Kirkpatrick's 2023-2024 term in office. The order is adopted pursuant to law, approved by the Glasgow City Council on January 9, 2023.
Is there a motion that we approve this?
Motion.
Okay, we've got Max Marion and Chastity Lowry in the second, so we have a motion and a second. This is an opportunity for any discussion on this. If there's no discussion, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
On order of the mayor, council members Patrick Gaunce, Marna Kirkpatrick, Freddie Norris, and Marlon Witcher are hereby appointed to the Glasgow City Council Infrastructure Committee. This appointment shall run concurrent with their 2023-2024 terms in office. The order is adopted pursuant to law and approved by the Glasgow City Council January 9, 2023.
I'll entertain a motion to approve this order.
Motion by Benel.
Okay, is there a second? Second by Councilman Neal. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Okay. Motion passes.
On order of the mayor, Councilmember Max Marion is hereby appointed to the Plaza Theater Advisory Board. This appointment shall run concurrent with Mr. Marion's 2023-2024 term in office. The order is adopted pursuant to law, approved by the Glasgow City Council January 9, 2023.
Is there a motion to approve Mr. Marion to the Plaza Board?
Motion.
Okay, we've got Councilman Neal as making a motion. I heard a second from Councilman Benel. Okay, any discussion of this appointment? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved.
On order of the mayor, Councilmember Chastity Lowry is hereby appointed to the Glasgow Plaza Theater Advisory Board. This appointment shall run concurrent with Ms. Lowry's 2023-2024 term in office. The order is adopted pursuant to law, approved by the Glasgow City Council January 9, 2023.
This order has been presented, ordering Ms. Lowry to serve. Is there a motion to approve it?
Kirkpatrick.
Second?
Second, Norris.
Okay, you've heard the motion. We have a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
On order of the mayor, council members Terry Benel, Patrick Gaunce, Chastity Lowry, and Freddie Norris are hereby appointed to the City Council Planning Development Committee, also known as the Parks and Recreation Committee. This appointment shall run concurrent with their respective 2023-2024 terms in office. The order is adopted pursuant to law, approved by the Glasgow City Council January 9, 2023.
You've heard the order. Is there a motion to approve it?
Motion, Norris.
Is there a second? Second. Is there any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Yes, ma'am. We'll excuse you, certainly. This is we've had lots and lots of discussion about this. This is the protocol. It's important that we go about it this way. It might seem a little bit lengthy, but when you think about the number of hours that these folks who are being appointed are going to have to spend doing this job, it's certainly worthwhile that we go through this approval process and that we recognize them for the tasks that they are about to take on. We've got just a few more to go here, and then we will move forward with the meeting. We still have a quorum. If we want to go ahead and do this without Ms. Lowry in the room, that certainly would be in order.
Yes. On order of the mayor, council members Patrick Gaunce, James Neal, Freddie Norris, and Marlon Witcher are hereby appointed to the City Council Public Safety Committee. This appointment shall run concurrent with their respective 2023-2024 terms in office. The order is adopted pursuant to law, approved by the Glasgow City Council January 9, 2023.
Okay, you've heard the order. Is there a motion to approve it?
Second by Benel.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this appointment? All right, I'll call the question. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries.
On order of the mayor, Councilmember Marna Kirkpatrick is hereby appointed to the Renaissance Steering Committee. This appointment shall run concurrent with Ms. Kirkpatrick's 2023-2024 term in office. The order is adopted pursuant to law and approved by the Glasgow City Council January 9, 2023.
You've heard the order to approve this. Would you, or the order presented, would you consider a motion to approve it? Councilman Neal, is there a second?
Second, Norris.
Second from Councilman Norris. Any discussion on this particular order? All right, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
On order of the mayor, council members Terry Bennell, Marna Kirkpatrick, James Neal, and Marlon Witcher are hereby appointed to the City Council Strategic Planning Committee. This appointment shall run concurrent with their 2023-2024 terms in office. This municipal order is adopted pursuant to law and approved by the City Council January 9, 2023.
You've heard the reading of the order. Is there consideration of a motion to approve it? Okay, Councilman Marion with a motion. Is there a second on this order? Second from Joe? Okay, all right. Any discussion on this? If not, then we'll call the question. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
On order of the mayor, council member Joe Trigg is hereby appointed to the Veterans Wall of Honor Standing Committee. This appointment shall run concurrent with Mr. Trigg's 2023-2024 term in office. The order is adopted pursuant to law and approved by the council on January 9, 2023.
Is there a motion to consider this order?
Motion, Norris.
Okay, is there a second? Councilman Neal? Second? Okay, all right. Motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this appointment? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
On order of the mayor, councilmember Marlon Witcher is hereby appointed to the Veterans Wall of Honor Standing Committee. His appointment shall run concurrent with his 2023-2024 term in office. The order is adopted pursuant to law and approved by the City Council January 9, 2023.
I'll entertain a motion to approve this. Okay, is there a second? All right, a motion and a second. That means we can discuss it. If there's no discussion, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? The motion carries.
On order of the mayor, councilmember Marna Kirkpatrick is hereby appointed to the Water and Sewer Commission. Her appointment shall run concurrent with her 2023-2024 term in office. The order is adopted pursuant to law and approved by the council January 9, 2023.
You've heard the order. Is there a motion to approve the order?
Motion by Bennell.
Okay, is there a second?
Second, Lowry.
Okay, motion and second. Is there a discussion? All right, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries.
On order of the mayor, councilmember Max Marion is hereby appointed to the 911 Board of Directors. This appointment runs concurrent with Mr. Marion's current term in office. The order is adopted pursuant to law and approved by the council January 9, 2023.
The order has been read, and it would be in order if somebody made a motion to approve it. Okay, motion by Councilman Witcher, second by Councilman Neal. Any discussion of this? Okay, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries.
On order of the mayor, Garland Gillum is hereby appointed Director of the Glasgow Emergency Management under the provisions of KRS 39B Sub 20. The position description is attached as Exhibit A. This municipal order is adopted pursuant to law and approved by the council January 9, 2023.
Up for consideration is Garland Gillum being the Emergency Management Director. I'll entertain a motion to approve that appointment. Motion by Councilman Neal. Is there a second?
Second by Bennell.
Is there any discussion of this order? All right. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is order of the mayor. Marcus Thurman and Anita May are hereby appointed Deputy Directors of Glasgow Emergency Management under the provisions of KRS 39B subsection 20. This position description is attached as Exhibit A and Exhibit B. This order is adopted pursuant to law and approved by the council January 9, 2023.
You have heard the order. This is for deputy directors of the Glasgow Emergency Management. Is there a motion to approve the order?
Motion Norris.
Okay, is there a second?
Second, Kirkpatrick.
Okay. Well, actually, is there any discussion of the appointment of these two as deputy directors? If not, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? And the motion carries. All right, we've got an ordinance to consider. Rich? Listen carefully.
This is an ordinance amending Code of Ordinances, Section 32.21, subsection A, relating to the regular city council meeting time. That whereas the city's Code of Ordinances, Section 32.21, subsection A, which codified ordinance number 1108 adopted January 22nd, 1968, states regular meetings shall be held at City Hall, City Council Chambers, 126 East Public Square here in Glasgow on the second and fourth Mondays at 7 o'clock p.m. of each month, which are established as the meeting dates of the City Council. And whereas the Glasgow City Council proposes to change the regular meeting time from 7 o'clock p.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. Now, therefore, in light of the foregoing recitals, be it hereby ordained by the City of Glasgow as follows. Section 1, that the City of Glasgow's Code of Ordinances, Section 32.21, subparagraph A, shall be and hereby is amended to read as follows. Regular meetings shall be held at the City Hall, City Council Chambers, 126 East Public Square, Glasgow, Kentucky, on the second and fourth Mondays at 6 o'clock p.m. of each month, which are established as the meeting dates of the City Council. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon its passage and publication according to law.
All right, you've heard the ordinance. You've had the ordinance in your packet to look over it. At this point, I will entertain a motion that we consider passing this ordinance. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion Kirkpatrick.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Marion. With a motion and a second, the floor is open for discussion of the proposed ordinance. Is there any discussion? If there is no discussion, then we will vote. I'll ask that everybody in favor of the motion, we're going to do a roll call. Okay. Roll call. Okay.
Benel,
Yes.
Gauntz,
Yes, ma'am.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes, ma'am.
Norris,
Yes.
Trigg, Witcher, Lowry,
Yes.
Marion,
Yes, ma'am.
Neal.
Unanimous, the motion carries. Thank you, Rich. I want to remind each of you in your packet that this is information for the purpose of this meeting under the resolution number 2016-2341. The council is required to give not the council, but the city is required to give to the council notification of pending proposed committee members, and you will find those in your packet, and those will be on the agenda to be voted on at the next regularly scheduled council meeting. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This was a little bit different. I want to make sure that I did that right. So those are in there. If you have any questions about it, you can talk to us later. Now, we've done enough talking up here, but we have a special guest who has some cheerful news to present to us. We have an excellent relationship in this community with BRAD, the Barren River Area Development District, and Emily Hathcock from BRAD is here to give us some information about an opportunity. Emily, welcome to the Glasgow Council meeting.
Thank you so much. I'm here to tell you about a couple of free training opportunities that are coming up, one of which I believe you should have gotten a letter from our executive director about, but I have some extra handouts to go with it. So that one is our SED Summit. That's a first training for us. It's going to kind of take the place of our regular newly elected officials training. It's a one-day training, January 31st, from 9:15 a.m. to 2:15 p.m. at Cave City at the Convention Center. And we're going to cover a wide array of topics, including more about Brad as an agency, but also some stuff from our partners at KLC. We're going to have some Main Street people, planning and zoning people, community media relations, emergency services, all kinds of topics of interest to our local stakeholders. So we hope you can join us. I do have a handout if you hadn't gotten that in the mail. It does have a QR code at the bottom for registration on that one. And then the other trainings that I have, I do have handouts. I'll just kind of pass them down if you don't care. These are FEMA-related trainings to get you FEMA credit. There are 4 coming up, 2 in January and 2 in February. The 2 in January are related to disaster preparedness. The 2 in February are on cybersecurity. Those will be at our office, and again, they are free as well. They also have a registration link on the form, but we just wanted to make you aware of these training opportunities and to invite you to join us.
Thank you, Emily. We'll take advantage of having these with us, and will you be here for a minute as we wrap up if somebody's got questions about this that they would like to ask you?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much. And we really enjoy a good relationship with Brad and here in this community, and we look forward to learning from this seminar and continuing that relation. Thank you very much for being here. All right, we have some information in the packet also. Do you want to talk about this, Rich, this notification that we have in here as far as the standard operating procedures for the Glasgow Police Department?
Yes, sir. Several years ago, I think in previous administration, the council adopted a resolution that authorized the mayor by executive order to approve the standard operating procedures for the police department. In your packet, you will find some housekeeping executive orders that amend the standard operating procedures. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer that. But the executive orders stand effective upon the signing by the mayor.
Thank you very much for bringing us up to date on that, Rich. A few announcements as we get to the end of our meeting. I want to talk about, first of all, recycling. April Russell told me that this past Saturday was the busiest recycling that they've had since they started doing recycling again, and I think that is really good for the people that do the recycling, and it's good that the community knows that it's out there, and it's good that we're getting the word out there. So thank you, April, for sharing that good information about this monthly recycling that seems to be getting the attention of more and more folks, and it serves everybody well. Also, I want to report to you that a conversation with Carolyn Gladfelter with the Plaza Theater about this past weekend's sold-out concert, and it was a packed house by all descriptions, and that's not just this weekend, but we also have coming up here Elle King, which is selling pretty handily toward the end of the month, but in between now and then we've got the Journey Tribute Band that has a whole lot of tickets being sold. So the Plaza is a shining star in the community, and a lot of folks are coming here to enjoy it. People coming to visit our community who normally wouldn't necessarily be here, but we are in the business of putting on a good show for that. So it takes a lot of volunteers, I must say. I know that several of the council members and others are involved in volunteering for the benefit of the Plaza, and we want to sincerely thank you all for making that happen. We also want to talk about the annual Martin Luther King Jr. Day program. It's going to be over in front of the courthouse Monday the 16th at noon. Then there's going to be a walk to the First Baptist Church, which is always an enjoyable walk down on South Lewis Street. So be aware of that. Mark it on the 16th. On the 16th, also in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, the following offices will be closed: Glasgow City Hall, Department of Public Works, Street Department, Sanitation, Transit, Stormwater, and Landfill departments will be all closed as well. And the garbage for the 16th will be, as well as the recycling, will be collected on Tuesday the 17th. Have it out by 7 o'clock and help out the folks who work hard to get 2 days' worth picked up at once. And the next regular scheduled council meeting is going to be on Monday, January 23rd. Let's see, it says here at 7 p.m. Is it going to be at 7 p.m.? Because we have to get second reading on this, right? Okay. Okay, and the publication. So I just want to make sure, I don't want to get here late. It'll be in the council chambers right here. That is the end of our agenda. And at this point, I would entertain a motion that we adjourn for the evening.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, is there a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Okay, meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much for your attention, and thanks for being here.